This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, an Odyssey station. And if you get that Odyssey app on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer stuff, oh man, you got new Odyssey exclusive stations that are curated for listeners just like you.
Weekend's about to happen. We'll be partying outside, probably with the 4th of July. So it kind of gets maybe in a little bit of the mindset like tailgating and football. I know it's a little bit of a head, but I'm stretching it. But you know what? It's a reason for that. It's because they have a great station I was just listening to yesterday called Tailgate Rock. And it's just all about the good times. Music, rock music that'll make you feel good and want to party with your friends. So check that station out. Also, maybe you're in the mood for a good cry, a good power ballad. You want to put those lighters in the air. That's what the station's called. Lighters in the air. It's all the rock power ballads that you love.
So, man, listen, if you're looking for just the right vibe for how you're feeling, check out these new Odyssey exclusive stations that are just made for you. You can get the Odyssey app today. Just go to your favorite app store. You know, whatever you got, the iPhoner, you get the Androider, AUDACY Odyssey.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yes.
So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs, but it's Wednesday, so there's gonna be a whacking.
Let me see everybody do their Mr. Wacky then. All right. Woo!
Whack it.
And Steve was definitely Mr. Wacky earlier today, winning 6-9.
Nice.
Making it happen. But it's a new game. It's not a new day, but it is a new game. Let's get to our contestant. We got Max in Seattle. Max, are you there?
Shout out to these clouds.
Yeah,
Right.
overcast.
Put on your hoodie.
I know. Find your hoodie, put it back on. And Steve, get out of here. You're back. Get out! For those playing at home, Max will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Max, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Who was the Prime Minister of the UK throughout the 1980s?
Pamela Anderson.
No.
Pass.
Young Rock has a TV show on what broadcast network?
Young Rock. TBS.
No.
CBS.
No.
NBC.
Yes. What is Homer Simpson's beer of choice?
Pass.
Which river is dammed by the Hoover Dam?
The Colorado River.
Yes. How many different colors are there on a Rubik's Cube?
4, 5, 6.
6, yes. The Friends theme, I'll Be There For You, was done by what band?
Pass.
Independence Hall is a historical site located in which eastern city?
Philadelphia.
Yes. In karate, what color belt is earned just before black?
Brown.
Yes. In what modified vegetable did Cinderella travel to the ball in?
A pumpkin.
Yes. What is the square root of 81?
4, 5,
No. What was the last one?
7.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct. Oh, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
That is going to be a tough one.
But it's very exciting because he got 6 correct, and if Steve does a repeat of earlier, that'll be 2 6 to 9s. That'd be kind of fun.
It'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? And guess who's back?
It's me.
Hey,
It's
look at him.
Steve. Are you ready?
Ah, yes.
Who was the Prime Minister of the UK throughout the 1980s?
Trudeau.
No.
Prime Minister Kelly.
No.
Prime Minister Sal.
No. Sal?
Yes.
Good old Sal.
Young Rock is a TV show on what broadcast network?
NBC.
Yes. What is Homer Simpson's beer of choice?
Homer. Duff.
Yes. Which river is dammed by the Hoover Dam?
The Beaver Dam.
No.
The gosh darn dam.
No.
That's it.
The damn Yankees.
No. How many different colors are there on a Rubik's Cube?
4.
No.
6.
Yes. The Friends theme, I'll Be There For You, was done by what band?
The Rembrandts.
Yes. Independence.
I know that.
I know. Independence Hall is a historical site located in which eastern city?
Pennsylvania.
No.
Washington.
No.
Virginia.
No. In
Okay.
karate, what color belt is earned just before black?
Brown.
Yes. In what modified vegetable did Cinderella travel to the ball
Pumpkin.
in? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tie.
Oh.
6 to 6.
Oh, Steve, if you only knew the difference between a city and a state, you would have been a happy boy.
He kind of did in the middle of that because he said Washington, which is...
Well, Washington is also a state.
Yeah, I know.
Washington,
And it's also a
DC.
district.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming maybe you would say Washington, D.C.
That's
on
what I
that.
meant.
Yeah.
Well, it was still wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, he was very
Maryland?
wrong.
No,
Well,
I was asking what eastern city.
Oh.
You did say Pennsylvania first. And
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the
Philadelphia.
one.
I thought you said state.
Wow.
I'm an idiot.
Wow.
Oh, I don't think you're an idiot.
But I was thinking Philadelphia, so that should count for something.
It really should count for a lot of nothing.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. A lot of nothing. So congrats to Max on tying you. If you would have gotten maybe to the last question, it could have been the deciding factor. What's the square root of 81?
9.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yep. All right.
Yep. Sorry, buddy.
The other ones that you did not get correct, actually, one of them Max did get correct. The Colorado River is dammed by the Hoover Dam.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
Yep. And does anybody know who the Prime Minister of the UK throughout the 80s was?
I believe I do. Anybody else?
No
Okay.
one.
Was it Margaret Thatcher?
It was.
I was trying to think of her name. I couldn't think of it.
Hello.
Prime Minister Sal would have been great.
Yeah. Good old Sal. Hey, how you doing, England?
Well, congrats on your tie.
Thank you.
Got a survey that was done asking people to name the top things that make someone seem like a sophisticated adult. Ooh.
Drinking one of those Stella Artois.
Oh, good call. Yeah. I feel like I'm sophisticated when I drink, especially out of one of their fancy glasses.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of those glasses. I don't
love
mind
those
Stella. I
glasses.
think the beer's fine, but I just don't like having a specific glass for a beer.
Oh, I love that idea. It makes me feel sophisticated. I think that's really what it is.
A little show off.
Yep, that's me. This is funny because this number one is something we just talked about. Like, don't be that guy. What makes you look sophisticated, and that's having an opinion on the stock market. We just spent the last break on.
That's so funny.
Don't be an idiot pretending you know more about tax stuff and financial stuff than you do. Yeah.
I think of what else that makes you look sophisticated. Like smoking a cigar.
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, I agree with you because it seems like higher class than smoking anything else, but still not in the top 5 of sophistication according to this list.
Huh.
But, I feel like when people go smoke cigars, especially nowadays, it feels like, okay, we're going to go be sophisticated adults here and have ourselves a little cigar.
Or I'm thinking when anybody offers you a drink with a saucer, like a tea with a teacup and a saucer, you just feel that much more elegant and sophisticated. And I'm like, let's be honest, I drink cider out of a coffee mug. I am not sophisticated at all. So whenever I do get to do that, I feel very fancy.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but that's not on the list either. Sorry about that. I see what you mean.
We don't even know how to fake being sophisticated. It sounds
It's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Number 2 is being able to discuss different types of wine or things like scotch.
Yeah. I mean, box wine, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I know that the black box is the high-end stuff, and then there's just the regular stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to win on that one. No. Well, I think also whiskeys, I mean, Scotch is a kind of whiskey anyway, but people are getting people that have the fancy sort of the same flavor palette discussions about whiskey as people do about wine. Right. I think that's a level of sophistication that goes way over my head.
But I feel like people actually, Scotch just tastes like battery acid. Scotch. It doesn't taste great. So when people are like, oh, I can taste the different notes. I'm like, what notes? Battery acid or, just like window cleaner? I don't know. It all tastes the same.
Scotch. Yeah, I think somebody who's sophisticated would say you're just unsophisticated. Vicky.
No.
Yeah, and look, I the only reason being is that somebody taught me how to drink whiskey, and they said you
with
first.
Your mouth?
Wait, we're not supposed to do it the other way?
No, I've been butt chugging it this whole time.
Well, that is your problem, sir. Ooh, wow. That is the less sophisticated delivery system.
No wonder I get kicked out of all these fancy parties. They're like, what's Steve doing? He thinks that's the only way you can drink whiskey.
Well, Steve, there's a term called the whiskey blanks, and you surely are getting it if you're drinking it that way. Yeah.
What about wearing a bow tie?
A bow tie?
Wearing a bow tie. It's cool if you're a Doctor Who fan, but wearing expensive clothes, maybe if it's an expensive bow tie, but that's number 3 on the list.
All right, how about this one? A texter said, how about knowing what to do with the hot, moist towel that they give you in first class?
Are you supposed to put that on your face?
I just rub it all over my body.
It's weird because you do it naked. You take your clothes off and you start rubbing it. That's what makes you get kicked out.
Yeah. After I butt chugged my whiskey.
On the plane.
I learned that I have to do that before I do that. It's my bad.
Yeah, that's why we don't sit together on
What do you do with
anymore.
that? Do you just use your hands? Is that what it's supposed to be for?
Yes, that's what you do. You
put it on your face.
Supposed to clean your hands off.
Do they give it to you at the beginning
you can put it on
or
your
at the
face if
end?
you want to.
What's that?
Do they give
you
you
get it at the beginning?
At the beginning? Oh, I was going to say it makes sense at the end.
Yeah, it's to...
Because you're all dried up from that air and stuff, but it makes, I guess.
It's before you eat food, you savages. They give it to you before they serve food to you.
But they're not giving us finger food, so whatever.
And there's a thing called washing your hands and hand sanitizer. I don't...
What do you mean they're not giving you finger food? They give you nuts, Steve.
Oh,
they usually do it in first class. They're giving you nuts. They give you... You're eating
I thought it's
stuff
right before your actual meal, like when they give you a little thing with a fork and a stuff.
Okay, I don't know if I can't continue this anymore. You're making me look less sophisticated by just talking to you.
Oh, guilt by association.
It's true. I got to get out of this conversation.
How about this one? Escort instead of a hooker.
Oh, yeah, if you call it, it's different.
Yes.
So I've heard.
I feel like we really don't have any sophisticated listeners, so this might not even be a good topic for this show.
Okay, well, what is it?
How about going to museums?
I mean, it's kind of fun.
Who goes to museums? I mean, there are certain museums that are cool, and they're making them more and more cool, a lot of museums that are out there, because there are pop culture museums. I mean, look, Mopop is the perfect example. I think that would make you sophisticated to go to Mopop, but it's also a really cool museum.
Well, I go to Mopop, so what does that say?
You're sophisticated.
Thank you. I'm thinking about going to the Children's Museum. Close. There's the Children's Museum.
It's still a museum. I mean, that's your first. Finally, we found something on the list that at least makes you look like you're trying.
What about the Museum of Cars?
Oh, the car museum is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a museum.
It has the word museum in it.
That's what I say. Who cares if it's like a boring museum or a fun museum? It's a museum. Right?
I'm in.
Okay.
All right. So far, I'm 1 out of the 4 that you've said.
And I think actually, granted, political is part of this, but I think there's a lot more that's part of this as well, and that is being able to discuss current events. And I think we all can do that pretty well because of our jobs.
Yeah, I think most people should be able to these days. With your cell phone just gives you a direct line to current events, even if you're trying to avoid it. You know what I mean? It's constantly. There's information constantly being thrown at you. So even if you don't know everything in the world, you probably know enough to be able to just have something interesting to say about current events.
Do you ever, I've had some friends that are off the grid, or at least they're into their own life. And when you bring up pop culture, current event stuff, they not only don't know, but they look at you like you're an idiot for knowing. I don't know who that is. Why should I care? And it's like, well, it is current events.
Right.
Yeah. We know that you're into your squirrel collection. We get that. You've been doing that since you were 10.
Squirrel collection?
Yeah.
I want to know about this person's squirrel. Yeah, I want to know about this person's squirrel collection.
Talk to Joe. Joe's the guy he's not so subtly taking a jab at. He's a massive squirrel collector.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, well, we didn't think that he was Dexter at all.
Remember him sharing the story, hanging out with Danny, trying to get the squirrels to come over with the charities.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. See,
But
Yeah.
no watermelon. They didn't like watermelon. Yeah, well, they like nuts.
They like these nuts.
Yeah. And, of course, they like Joey D's nuts.
Right. That's what it is. So there you go.
Joey D's nuts.
We're totally sophisticated.
If you guys are wicked sophisticated, I think is what we qualify that as.
Yeah, using the term wicked
it is
instantly makes you sophisticated as well.
Well, if I was in Boston, that's very sophisticated.
I'm wicked sophisticated.
I'm wicked sophisticated, you blanca. It is time for Listeners on the Loose, but only for sophisticated people. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We got your calls, we got your texts at 917 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. Listeners on the Loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. And when you are featured on this fine show, make sure you follow Steve's rule.
It's a simple rule, BJ. It's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
We got a message from Josh on Twitter. Said, Migs, have you given an on-air shout-out to Swerve yet? Dude, so it's in the world of wrestling. Isaiah Swerve Scott. He's a wrestler, but he's billed from Tacoma, Washington. He used to go by Shane Strickland on the Indies. But he's been here a bunch for Defy. He's done, a handful of interviews with me on the Migs versus the World of Wrestling podcast that I used to do. He's been on the Mega Cast. He was at one point meeting with Sergeant Hair Club about potentially trying to figure out what to do in the world of media, possibly working in our building, because he wasn't sure how long he was going to be able to do wrestling because he was just kind of hitting a wall. So it was like all this stuff was going on. He was questioning his career. Well, he now is on part of the WWE on NXT, and he just won they just gave him the North American Championship. So he has that title now. Yes, as of yesterday, and it's kind of a big deal.
Oh, that's cool.
It's super exciting, man. I was pumped for him, but he's also part of a faction called Hit Row, and one of the members of his faction, former Seattle Seahawk, AJ Francis, the guy that used to have on our show.
Nice. Wow.
So now he's making waves in the world of wrestling as well. So it's been pretty exciting. He goes by Top Dollar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're kind of like a hip-hop faction. It's pretty badass. They're doing a really good job, and I was super pumped to see Swerve get the championship last night.
Well, plus AJ as well. I mean, that's double bonus for you.
Yeah, and he's just throwing dudes around because AJ's a big dude, and a lot of people in NXT are not as big as him. He might be one of the biggest guys there. So there's a lot of not small people, but small compared to him, and he's just throwing them all around. It's been pretty fun to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for AJ, obviously, because it's kind of cool to see a former Seahawk gone now in the world of wrestling.
And he's a good dude as well. Great. He's always been great to the show, and you guys are good friends.
Yeah, I've been very happy for him. We have a question for Sarah, though.
Oh, boy.
It's not nothing to do with wrestling. So
okay. Am I really? All right.
So earlier you guys were talking about how you would mess with your friends or your friends would mess with you. I haven't heard Sarah's sweet voice on the air recently. I was wondering what she would say.
Oh, hey.
Can we hear your sweet voice?
Oh, thank you. My friend was absolutely terrified of the Chucky doll and the Chucky movies. So I, as the kind friend that I am, went out and bought one. And every time she would come over, I would hide the doll in places that I knew she was going to go to. And she would freak out. She eventually stopped coming over.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. But
I trained you well.
Especially because I think the Chucky doll is so cute and adorable. So it was kind of right. He's so little and precious looking.
A little scuffed up, but he looks like a cute kid.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be nice. He's not, but he looks like he would be. But so it was a win-win for me because I got the doll and then I would freak her out.
Do you still keep in touch with this friend?
I do, yeah. She moved. But we're still actually really good friends, but she always remembers that.
Do you still do you send her gifts of Chucky or random?
Oh yeah, you really should keep it going.
I really should, or send her a package and it just be the Chucky doll in there.
Oh yes.
Oh my God. If there's a way to put a GoPro in there so it turns on the minute she opens the box, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Or have a friend there to video it.
Oh, I could have her husband video it because she's super dramatic as is. So
wait, one of your friends is dramatic?
Isn't that
hard to believe?
Yeah, I know, weird, right? You think I'm the only dramatic one. But yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that.
I like that plan. 206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show.
A lot of people had the way they would mess with friends with fake Craigslist ads, including this person said, I thought it'd be funny to make a fake ad with vehicles for sale at a super cheap price. And my friends thought it would be funny to do that to me and use my phone number. The headline said the vehicle must go today. I had to turn my phone off for a day, and it took 2 days for the calls to finally slow down. That was 10 years ago. And it was a 1998 Acura Integra for $600.
Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a beating. If anybody ever messed with me like that, I'd be done with them.
We had, I think it was to my buddy Munson. We had someone that we must have known. We didn't know who did it, but it had to be one of our friends. Someone did the fake Craigslist ad. And at the time, we had no idea what the hell Paradiso was. But now I do know. It's like, a big EDM festival that would happen at the Gorge. But it was like one of the first years it was sold out. People were going nuts to try and get these tickets. So somebody put a fake Craigslist ad saying that he had tickets that he was selling for under face value. And we got back, we were playing hockey. We got back into the locker room in the middle of the day, and he looked at his phone. He's like, I have like 400 text messages and phone calls from people about Paradiso. I don't even know. We had to Google what Paradiso was to figure out what the hell people were talking about.
Oh, man. Yeah, I would not be happy with you people.
Yeah, I never mess with anyone by giving their number out.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that's over the line.
I remember one time Andy, when I worked on the Andy Savage show, he gave my phone number out on the air.
Oh no, he did not. Did he really? Really?
Yes, I had to change my number. It was bad. It was nonstop.
I would be so pissed. You know what? You're a better man than me, because I probably either would have quit or I probably would have just I'm not a fighter, but I would have verbally abused him for weeks.
Well, at first I was mad, but then I was like, maybe there'll be like some sweet honeys that are going to try and reach out and see what's up.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, BJ, the reason why you didn't think about that is because you're a practical thinker. Because not a single woman.
No sweet honeys?
No one was calling, trying to proposition meeting up with me to hook up. There was all just dudes calling at all moments of the day. Just be like, is this really Steve? Huh, that's awesome. You blah, blah, blah. And they would say, either they tell me I suck or they'd say something just to be funny.
Remember the time you did the thing? Wasn't that cool?
Yeah. What was the weirdest interaction with any of them? Do you remember?
No, I don't. It's so long ago. Up until this moment, I forgot until we started talking about that. I'm like, that's right. That's how he messed with me.
Yeah, it works the other way around, Steve. Like, if we gave Vicky's number out, she would get a lot of proposals for all sorts of activity.
Guys and girls.
Somebody did do that.
Who gave your number out?
I don't know.
Was it Sarah?
Probably. No.
Sarah. Somebody gave your number out, on the show?
Not on the show, but online. I don't know who it was to this day. This was a few years back. They went to OkCupid. They set up a profile with the name Victoria, and it wasn't even my pictures. I managed to find the account. It wasn't even me in the pictures. Proposition different dudes with my phone number saying, "Hey, I want to do blank to your blank.
Now I
Send me your pictures."
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And I was at Comic-Con here in Seattle, and in the course of 15 minutes, I got 10 D pics. It was just constant. I'm like, what are you doing? Who is this? It's like, we were just talking. We met on OkCupid. You wanted me to send this to you. I'm like, no, that's not me.
How awkward for both sides.
That sucks.
Because for all you know, that person's never, ever sent a D pic. But finally, we're just like, Vicky wants it. I want to get her. You know what? Screw it. I guess I'll get out of my comfort zone and I'll do this. And then they're all excited because they think you want it. And then you come back with, who told you to send me this?
And they didn't even think it was me. It was some other girl on this. The poor girl's pictures were stolen to be used for this site.
Oh, so they didn't even know it was you. So,
no.
So somebody did this to get back at you.
Yeah. And I'm telling them, that's not me in the pictures. I promise you, that's not me. And one guy was even like, hey, so are you single? Though, hey, you want to hook up? Wow. I was like, you don't even know what I look like. You're just.
Well, he figured he sent you his calling card. He figured you'd be interested.
It's raring to go.
And I was just like, what's the first thing that came up with? I am 8 months pregnant and married. Sorry, dude. And I think he still tried to shoot a shot. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, that means I have to use protection.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, yep, that sounds like my kind of woman.
I have a few suspicions on who it might have been, but to this day, I'm not 100% sure.
Joe, just fess up.
Yeah, come on, Joe.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What if it was Joe?
That
would be amazing.
It would be so atypical for him. Like, I can picture Sarah doing it, but not
Yes.
Joe.
Yeah.
Well, nobody thought Ted Bundy was really a serial killer.
That's true.
You don't think
Wow.
these things.
I don't like these
Okay.
rumors.
I mean, I've been listening to a lot of the serial killer podcasty things. So, I mean, Joe,
I mean, it's always.
how's your relationship with your father?
He was a quiet boy.
It's not great here. Joe is not anywhere near serial killer material.
He could be.
Well, I mean, his father's
that's
got the
hard.
serial killer eyes,
Yeah.
so
Right,
maybe it
exactly.
skips a generation. So, like, you got the eyes of a serial killer, but you're not a serial killer.
Was your father angry growing up?
Oh, very much so. Okay, so
Okay.
you know what? Again, Steve, I cannot wait till your daughter's 18 years old so we can accuse her of being something really horrific. Look at you. I mean, that's my boy over there you're talking about. He's a good boy.
He's smiling, though. He thinks it's funny.
Oh, does he? Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, oh, they think that I think it's funny, but it's true.
It was a really windy day. The apple fell far from the tree. Don't worry.
See, Sarah believes it.
Listen, if Joe starts bringing in donuts, then then we're going to have which is what Dexter used to do every week. Then you have to start wondering.
Honestly, I'm more afraid of Sarah than I am of Joe. Sarah would definitely be the serial killer.
No.
Yeah,
You're
I'm already
crazy.
She's too
enough,
honest, though. She would just admit
Yeah.
that she murdered someone this weekend.
But this
I
is
would.
Yeah.
you're the person that says you want to taste what human flesh, like meat, tastes like.
Maybe they're in
I do.
cahoots together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
The
not gonna
brother-sister
no.
murder duo.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're done with this
Yeah.
conversation.
Joe
kills him, Sarah grills him.
Yep.
I love that actually.
Okay, well.
The new movie by Quentin Tarantino, The Killing Grillers.
Yeah, this has been a great
there hasn't been
conversation.
any killing siblings.
Hey,
so.
look at the time, guys. We got to move on. I'm so sorry. I would love to continue this scintillating and just rewarding conversation, but we
BJ's
got
trying to get us off the beaten path. He's in cahoots with them.
Oh, cahoots!
This would be a fantastic movie. Let's sell the
Yeah.
rights.
Steve, if you think you'd still be alive if I was a serial killer, okay? Do you really think you would be?
Point.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Sorry.
BJ is a
This
serial
made me laugh so hard I farted.
Oh, no!
Okay. Well. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, then we need to abandon ship very quickly.
It's my defense mechanism, and I think someone's going to shank me.
He's like an octopus.
Like a skunk. Yeah.
Skunkopus. Okay, it is just lovely. It is listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. More of your calls and more of your texts at 9:35 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes? I can't believe I did that."
and
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of a Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It is listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Guy text said, guys, I really enjoyed the interview with Dave Haxtell. Getting excited for the Kraken. Did you see that they announced the name of their training facility? I did. They're putting it all over the internet right now. It's on their social media pages as well. It's called the Kraken Community Iceplex.
And is that the one up in Northgate?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be the training facility. It's also going to be a hub for ice sports in the Northwest. So like kids hockey will be happening there. Also adult hockey as well. So they'll have like their own adult hockey league, the Kraken Adult Hockey League, the Kraken Kid Youth Hockey League as well. And other stuff too. I mean, you can use the ice for other things like, just regular community ice skating and other things too. I don't know. But
I'm looking forward to checking out that whole area because what they've done with the old Northgate Mall. I haven't been up there to see it since I don't know how close they are to being done with the whole remodel, but That's going to make that area pretty awesome.
It's going to make it really cool. And it's also going to have the team store in there. And they changed the name of, I think we talked about this, but in case you forgot, they're no longer calling it the Kraken Bar and Lounge or whatever they're going to do because of that Kraken Bar, the punk rock bar. So it's now called the 32 Bar and Grill, standing for being the 32nd team in the NHL.
That's cool because I have some friends that are involved in that situation on the other side for the original Kraken Bar, and I hope those people stop saying that nothing has been done because they're telling. At least the person I spoke to said, "Oh, they're telling me that nothing's been done," but you've just confirmed that something actually has been done. Yeah, and they've changed the name. So I hope this quiets whoever likes to give me bad information. Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, zip it, buddy. That's what you should say.
Exactly. So that's cool, and that's cool that the Kraken did that. That's a nice thing for them to do for a business that has been around for a long time. So
I'm pumped for a buddy of mine, Andy Cole. He's the guy who started the Greater Seattle Hockey League, which is a men's league, and he's partnered with the Kraken to now turn it into the Kraken Adult League, which I think is such a cool thing because you already got such a database of hockey players with the Greater Seattle Hockey League.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. It really, really is. As again, we're becoming a super, a world-class sports city, which I always wanted ever since I moved here. And boy, how times have changed, Steve. I mean, really, what we were, and even before you and I got here, what this city was when, pretty much every team was almost out the door. And then we eventually did lose the Sonics. Boy, it's pretty amazing what's happening. And I feel real confident that we're going to get some basketball announcement news at some point once the Kraken hit the ice.
Well, we'll have an arena for them. That was always the big issue in the past. So that's going to be awesome.
Let's go to Brian in Seattle. Brian, you are on the Rock.
Thank you, BJ, for taking my call. Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys about the tricks that you play on people that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Okay, I worked in an advertising office in Bellevue for a while. I started calling those sample websites and having samples sent to a coworker. I had feminine hygiene products.
Oh, boy.
I had extra large women's diapers. He would get these packages and not know where they came from.
That's awesome.
He got diabetic calls. I signed him up to be a wife on a Russian dating website. It took him 6 months. It was awesome. He was getting so many calls to his work phone.
Wow. I mean, that's dedication right there, sir.
Hey, it was a blast, and everybody would come up to me and say, "Hey, when's so-and-so getting a package?" And I'd say, "I don't know." Playing all innocent. It took him months to figure it out.
But did he ever get back at you?
Oh, it doesn't happen. I'm B. Jones. Nobody gets even with me.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, you don't get even with B. Jones.
That's on his business card.
I had no idea. With me. All right, there you go. Nobody gets even with B. Jones. I got news for you. I would get even with B. Jones.
Oh, yeah?
I would. I mean, listen, but you know this about me, Steve. I have made it as clear as possible because many different times, depending on, especially every once in a while, we get a new employee who's kind of hey, I'm that wild card. And you F with me, and I am a miserable human being if you do.
Oh, yeah. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache because you go for the jugular.
Yeah, and I've done my best to try to adjust that, but you remember that convention we were at where people messed with me in my hotel room, and I was miserable during the whole convention to the point that nobody wanted to go to dinner with me.
And I couldn't even go to the Charlotte Checkers game, which now I find out is now an AHL affiliate for the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Thanks a lot, BJ.
It's not so much me. I think it's just you trying to get into live hockey events.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Yeah, well, you couldn't get into Vegas. You couldn't get into the Checkers. You got to ask yourself, who is it? Well, I was with you both times.
I was about to say, I've never had a problem outside of, oh my, it's you after all. All these years. Right. Yeah, you just don't want me to see hockey.
Well,
All right, we have a very important statement from a texter. It's not even a question, but it's just a statement. It says, guys, Costco has samples again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there yesterday. I lived it, bro.
Joey, I know you were at Costco yesterday. Is it true?
It's true, man. I got offered some apple juice. I got some yogurt, some crackers, some squash thing. Oh, it wasn't anything like I don't know if I just caught them in an early part of their day or something. But then they had this caramel flan. Have you ever had flan?
Flan is fantastic.
I wasn't.
Oh, you don't like flan?
It tasted weird.
Vicky, you don't like flan either?
I love flan.
Oh, okay. I was looking at your face, and I was just like...
The regular kind, the real Mexican kind, then it's fantastic.
Oh, and I don't even think honestly, I don't even know if I've had the real Mexican kind, Vicky. I think I've just had the lame-o kind. I'd love to try like authentic flan.
Which is funny because I think it's like one of those fancy egg custard things, and I've only ever had it like with the mix, like you would do a Jell-O mix. That's the only kind my parents get, and it's fantastic, honestly.
Maybe I just had a bad sample.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe you're just not a flan guy.
Yeah, it could be.
Nah, with Steve, flan sucks.
It wasn't good.
You don't like
Okay,
creme
who
brulee?
said is that? Not mine.
Yeah. It's very much like creme brulee, except without the top stuff. It's just caramel.
I like the creme brulee.
Creme brulee?
You like the creme brulee?
Yeah.
I like both. I mean, that and turtles. I mean, right? Except turtle t-shirts.
I like turtles.
I like the turtle t-shirts, but I mean, yeah. Well,
it was nice to see some sense of normalcy, though.
Here's the thing, though. All right, that's good news.
Yeah.
The next thing, if anybody who is an unofficial or official representative of Trader Joe's, when are we going to be able to eat at Joe's again? Because I missed that, too, going in there and seeing, like, what the sample is at Trader Joe's, because they had to shut that down as well. Are they going to bring that back?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I don't imagine so, because I've been to Trader Joe's. They seem to be like following whatever, like all the updated protocols when it comes to like masks and stuff. So why wouldn't they change and go back to the samples?
I go by because what they've done is they basically made a display of the old Eat at Joe's area, at least at the Trader Joe's I go to in Bellevue, and I just stand there mourning like I'm at a gravesite. I mean, just going, this used to be where Eat at Joe's was. Oh, I miss it so much. So hopefully I keep going in and I keep hoping.
Someone said they just dropped off some supplies at the new Iceplex this morning, and the place is starting to look awesome.
Oh, up at Northgate.
Yep. And then someone wanted to know, do you think having an NHL team will negatively affect the ticket sales for the Thunderbirds and the Silvertips? I don't think so at all. I think it's actually going to help them. Because there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to fall in love with hockey. They're going to want to go to games. Tickets are sold out and be very expensive, so not a lot of families will be able to drop, the cost for 4 tickets, but they can afford to go to a T-Birds game or a Silvertips game.
And just take a look at, how well the Aqua Sox and the Rainier, they're still in business. Yep. Both those teams are in business, and the Mariners have not negatively affected them at all. I agree with you, Steve. It's going to be a positive effect because going to Seattle, like you said, for a lot of reasons, you're not going to be able to do that all the time. But, it's much more accessible up there in Everett and down in Kent to make that happen.
Parking's easier. Everything's, about ticket prices are cheaper. It's a way more economical thing for, like, if you have, like, a family of 4 or 5, you can maybe go to a couple of Kraken games unless you're like, doing very well financially, but otherwise that's going to be a struggle. So, I mean, you could get a good number you could probably get all 4 of you in for the price of what it would cost for 1 ticket to a Kraken game. And I like $100 or so for a ticket. And then you think about like T-Birds and the Silvertips, it's about 20 or so bucks a ticket.
And you know more about hockey than I do, so I don't know how it translates, as far as minor league hockey versus like minor league baseball. But we know that college football is very, very entertaining. I have always been entertained by junior league hockey games, and whereas minor league baseball games, there's definitely, especially AAA, only because of the fact that a lot of times your stars are in AA, and they sometimes even bypass AAA, and sometimes you have some aging stars that will go down to AAA. So I think with baseball, it might be a little bit of an inferior product that you might notice, but I don't know. I mean, Steve, you know better than mine. I think it's entertaining, a minor league game.
Super fun.
In hockey.
There's a massive difference in the skill level, of course, but it's still fun. And as long as there's people in the crowd, to me, what dictates a good hockey game is like, if you got enough people in as they call them, the barn or the arena, which typically the T-Birds and the Silvertips do very well with their attendance. It's just like the energy of the crowd. That's what gets it going. But yeah, the play is definitely not on the level of the NHL, but it's still great.
And I don't know. I don't know
where
the
kid, you're not going to care.
Yeah, and I don't know where the checkers are, and as far as the level of hockey,
that's AHL. Charlotte.
And is AHL always better than what we got going on the West Coast?
Yeah. That's
I didn't realize that.
AHL's the minor leagues.
Oh, there we go. All right. And so it is interesting that the AHL, that like there's nothing on the West Coast that would emulate that. That is interesting how it works.
We have a team that's going to start up in the desert in California, in Indio, but the arena hasn't been built yet. So we're basically sharing an AHL team, I think, with Florida. Which is the Charlotte Checkers. I think they're also the Panthers minor league team. So we're kind of like doing a weird like sharing thing until we get our actual AHL team.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Because I wondered, how cool would it be maybe if, because some teams, at least in baseball, they're lucky enough to have a very close minor league affiliate to the major league team.
I know. I kept getting my fingers crossed that like maybe Tacoma that would happen or something.
Well, that's what the Rainiers are, aren't they? Because I think they're the Mariners affiliate.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so it would be cool if they could be that close.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier commute wise.
Yeah, that's a fact. And you got a real vested interest at that point because you want to get on and you want to watch those teams because like the Aqua Sox and like the Rainiers, they could be Seattle Mariners someday.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. You never know how it'll all shake out, but either way, very exciting. Well, time to answer a big question. What do Ryan Castle and the radio have in common? That might be the easiest one of all, but we'll see. I'll tell you at 9:51 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and the radio have in common?
Well, funny, I don't know if you know this, but I've actually been on the radio before.
Wait. Really?
Yeah. One time.
Wow.
One time it was a feature called Smash or Trash on KPLZ back in 1994.
Oh, baby. Look at
Did
that.
you smash it or trash it?
I trashed it, bro. You know I did.
Yeah, he trashed it.
Someone said Steve likes to turn them both on.
Oh, he does.
Steve has twisted both of their knobs.
Oh, boy.
And
Yeah.
Steve gets paid to do both every day. Well, not on
Really?
weekends. I don't get paid on it.
You get paid for this? I know you get paid for doing Ryan Castle. I didn't know you. All right. Hey, a recent study was done about the things that people miss about their commute, as, of course, everyone's been working from home. Top thing people missed was, hey, how about this? Radio, everybody.
Hey.
Missing their radio, missing their podcasts. And more than half the people said they miss actually singing along to the radio, which, of course, we do on this show all the time.
You know, it's crazy. You can listen to the radio at your house, too.
Wait, what? Wow, this is, wow.
You're asking too much from us.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't know. Wow, you're blowing my mind, dude.
You're welcome.
Ryan Castle, he's up next. You can listen to him at home or on the road. He's got a 12-pack.
BJ and Migs play of the day.
The first ever coach for our Seattle Kraken. Please welcome to the show, Dave Haxtell. The first draft pick was yours truly. They picked me as the backup to the emergency goalie. So I just wanted to, Coach, it's nice to finally meet you. And I was hoping I could get number 40. And let me know when practice is going to be. I'm ready to go.
I'm trying to figure out if that means you have to come to rookie camp or if you're now a veteran and you just jump right into main camp.
Coach, I'm in my 40s. I don't know if I could be a rookie. I think I'm going right into the vet status here.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.